listening to NBC Sports Radio. This is the Jim Daniels Show, where every day is game day. And now, Jim Daniels.
NBC Sports Radio and NBCSportsRadio.com. This is Speaking of Sports. I promised actually earlier that if you have any kind of aches and pains that you might want to listen to what we're going to talk about here, because our next guest is actually tied to a pretty surprising product. Anthony Davis, let's talk about this first. AD of the Pelicans. I mean, as most NBA fans know, this guy's having an amazing season. He's turning out to be a superstar player, no question about that. Just the other night, he put up 39 points and 13 rebounds to become the Pelicans' all-time leading scorer, and doing that at a time with injury that a lot of guys wouldn't even suit up. Now, AD is really the legitimate NBA star, but somebody else needs to get some credit for what he's wearing on the court, which maybe kind of takes a little bit of credit for his performance on the court. Something that other world-class athletes are wearing to assist with their rehab, their pain management. And you may have seen Anthony wearing the black shirt. 10 years in the making. It's a medical device in the guise of a shirt. From AlignMed CEO Bill Schultz going to join us now. Bill, we hear that you are the go-to shirt for treatment and for keeping NBA players off the operating table and getting them back on the hardwood. Tell us about the black shirt.
Yeah, it's a 10-year overnight success. And so what we did was, it's a new category of apparel called functional apparel. So apparel that actually does something to the muscles and joints of the body. So 10 years of testing, FDA registration, even prescription approval on the thing. Mm-hmm. But what it is what it is not. It's not a compression garment. What it does have is it has a specific banding in it. It's almost like kinesio tape or skin taping, but it's built in. It has a specific tension to it, and it lays down on specific anatomy. And in the case of Anthony Davis, what it does is it comes over the top of his shoulders, down across the shoulder blades, into a rigid spinal column, and then the shirt goes down to the gluteus muscles. So it goes down further than a normal T-shirt would, and anchors on the gluteus or the butt muscles. And so we're using the shirt then stabilizes on the core, and that's how we're able to pull the head and the neck and the shoulders back in line with the core. So in the case of Anthony Davis, a lot of athletes, this is a big deal in the NBA. There's 5 Chicago Bulls doing it now. We started a lot of this work with Dwight Howard and preventing further anterior shoulder injury. Mm-hmm. What it does is it triggers those muscles and joints to become in a neutral position, which is also called good posture. And if you got good posture and you got good form, you can not only recover from an injury, you can prevent an injury.
Bill, we've seen players wear all kinds of things, especially in the NBA where they're wearing smaller uniforms. You can see more of the stuff that they're putting on their bodies, compression sleeves, like you mentioned, these copper woven things. But this is none of that, right?
No. We don't do any of that. Our technology is based on a dynamic device that, in fact, the FDA registered it not as a garment, but as a medical device. So, but it's at the same time, it's very comfortable, and it doesn't restrict. It moves with the way your muscles move, and it has nothing to do with metal. And because the bands move against your muscle, they cause the nerves to respond. And that's really the key to the thing. When the nerves respond, they activate the muscles to go into action and to facilitate a response. Again, it's not a squeezer like a compression. We don't want to squeeze you. Mm-hmm. If you have bad posture, you got a bad shoulder, and we use a compression shirt to squeeze you, we're going to only make your injury worse. So we want to get that back into proper position, not only when you're playing the game, but it's going to work when you're sitting at a computer. It's going to work when you're sitting on an airplane, and you don't have to question whether it works or not. You feel it. You feel it right away.
Bill Schultz is the CEO for AlignMed. They make the black shirt that Anthony Davis has been wearing. Also, Eric Gordon has been wearing one for his comeback. Same shirt that Dwight Howard wore. You mentioned that a moment ago in 2013 when he played basically the entire second half of the season with a torn labrum. You used the words magical properties. What are the magical properties?
The magical properties are that variable stretch turns the nerves and the muscles on. Okay. And when those two work together, the body responds. And the body responds in kind. It's like a mini massage. It's just, or it's two things. It's like a mini massage, but you could have the massage for 1 hour, or you could have it for 24. Peyton Manning is a big fan of ours, and he wears the shirt all the time. A lot of the athletes are either from the Gary Vitti at the Lakers. A lot of MLB guys wear them to sleep as well, because you have posture and you have aches and pains in the sleep. You can feel that when you get up in the morning.
Yeah, right. Now, listen, you had a recent trip to New York City. I guess went pretty well. You met with the Rangers, and now you're outfitting their entire team with AlignMed products. Is that right?
Yeah, it started with the New York Giants. They're big fans of ours. In fact, Victor Cruz is rehabbing, and he's got the posture shirt top, but he now has the posture shorts as well. And then the team physician for the New York Rangers helped us design a pair of shorts that are very unique. They're not compression. What they do at the core line, at the center of gravity, they have this elasticity that pulls the hips backwards. Most of our hips move forward a little bit, but if those hips are straight up and down, parallel with the floor, you're going to be you're going to be a stronger, you're going to be a faster athlete, you're going to have a bigger range of motion. So hockey guys injure their hips a lot because of their skating motion, especially goalies, but all of them do, because it's an odd motion. It's not walking. So they need something to keep their hips in line, and that's what we did for them.
Wow. We hear you're getting calls from teams literally all over the world wanting to order whatever Anthony Davis is wearing. Our listeners, I think, could benefit from your product as well. How do they find you?
Well, they can find us on AlignMed.com. That's AlignMed, like David.com, or 866-987-5433. It's the real deal. We've got over 100,000 people now who have ordered these, and now over 1,400 doctors are prescribing them. Again, it didn't happen overnight, but this is good for kids, students, computer users. You sit in an office, golfing. It's truly a new technology.
Well, listen, USA Today did a story called The Best Kept Secret in Sports. You can find out more at AlignMed.com. CEO Bill Schultz, thanks for being with us on NBC Sports Radio.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, there you go, AlignMed.com if you think you need some of that stuff. Speaking of sports, on NBC Sports Radio and NBCSportsRadio.com.
You're listening to NBC Sports Radio.